Alright everyone, so in this video we are going to continue with our embedding lessons and we're going to look at a little bit of video today. So again, extending on our recipes site, what I've done is I have created a little video of me making this recipe. It's a very detailed, very in-depth, very serious video, and we're going to use this as supplemental content on our recipe page. So now there's a couple ways we could get this video into our web page. We could embed it by hosting it ourselves, meaning we could stick this file in a recipe, stick this file in a directory on our site and just embed it directly into our site. Or we could upload it to a service like YouTube or Vimeo, and we could embed that directly into our site. Both ways will work, and I'm going to kind of cover both in this video. So first of all, we're going to embed just using the HTML5 video tag and having the video stored locally on our machine. So enough of that. So as you can see, this is a .mov. That's not going to work for the web. We need this to be in an M4V or an H.264 format, and MOV is not going to work. So I've already taken the liberty of exporting this as an M4V, so I have it ready for our web. So embedding video using HTML5 is actually pretty simple. All we really need to do is, let me give some separation here, is use our video tag with a few simple attributes. So first of all, we want to describe the height and the width of our video, and this is important so that the browser scales it properly and so doesn't look distorted. The second thing we want to provide are controls. We want to allow our user to start and stop our video when they choose. We don't want to take that control away from them. That's a big usability blunder. The second thing you'll notice here is that the video element takes a nested element called the source tag, and that has a few attributes that are also important. The first attribute is the source of the video. So where is this video located? And you can see here that we've added our video to a media directory, and it's called seasoning.m4v. And we've also given the source type of video/mp4 so that the browser and the computer know what to play. Now, if you're using an older browser and it does not support the video tag, or it does not support the type of video that's playing inside of the video tag, then we can add this text below that will simply give your users a message that says your browser does not support the video tag. It's probably not the most helpful, but for right now it will have to do. And once I'm done showing you this, I'll show you the code that's needed to embed in a non-HTML5 compliant browser. It's a little more complicated. It uses more JavaScript, sometimes Flash, so it's not quite as usable as the HTML5, but it will work in a lot more browsers and in older browsers. So once we have this video tag set up and saved, we can actually refresh, and you can see that we have our video embedded. I don't know why that's not showing up there. Let me just come here. There we go. There we go. Okay. So as you can see here, the video is embedded and it can play, and you have your fairly standard browser controls, and you can also go full screen with it, which is probably going to look awful in this case, and yes, it does look awful. So we can shrink that back down. But as you can see, that's nice. And depending on the browser you're using, so say I open this up in Safari. So I'm using Chrome right now. Let's see here. We'll see if it looks any different. Okay, so you can see here the slightly different Chrome it gives for the controls of the video. Again, it still plays, but it's just going to look a little bit different. So now, if you didn't have your HTML5 video, if you had to use something else, what you'd be looking at is this right here. And let's see. Okay, so this is the HTML to play the video in a non-HTML5 fashion. So let's see what happens if we actually look at this video. Okay, you can see here that, wow, it doesn't even work. Okay, so this is basically the exported video directly from QuickTime when it doesn't export to get that M4V. It also gives you this big file full of directory full of resources that allow for an embed. And I bet I'm just missing a path here, which is why this isn't working. But as you can see, it's a little bit more complicated than just using that video frame. It's a little bit more intense. So we want to avoid this at all costs. If you're doing a full production website, which includes a lot of video, unfortunately you're going to have to look at Flash and other HTML5 alternatives for doing video embeds. It's just not widespread enough that I can comfortably say just use your video tag and don't worry about anything else. And that is typically why I recommend, if you're going to be publishing a lot of video, to use a service like YouTube or Vimeo and then use their embeds, because it makes getting the content in there a lot easier. And then YouTube and Vimeo takes care of doing the making sure it will function right in the browser. And for example, if you go to YouTube, and we'll just look at some of the videos that I've been doing for this class, and say we open 6.1 here. Let's see, I don't want that to play. So if you come to share and then embed, you can see that all you have to do is provide this iframe here, and it will embed that properly into your site, and it will take care of making sure that it displays properly. And you can also, depending on what you're using, a lot of times WordPress or other publishing platforms will have direct plugins for YouTube and Vimeo videos, and then you don't really have to worry about it at that point. So the iframe is what we use on Design at State. So if you go to Design at State and look at just one of the lessons, and let's see if we go inspect. There you go. You can see the iframe that we use for the YouTube video. And then I basically outsource all of my, basically making sure the video plays in the browser. I let YouTube deal with that instead of me having to deal with it. But if you have some small videos and you have you understand your audience well enough that you feel comfortable playing the HTML5 videos, this is a very, very simple way of getting video properly embedded into your website.